Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for a little Saturday morning React-TOONS featuring Robotech, specifically episode 25, Wedding Bells, which is a short segue for me to say this. Friends, normally I have a very regimented schedule, and when I watch all the shows that I watch so I can keep on top of things and blah, blah, blah. It's a lie. I just need post-it notes around here to make sure I'm doing things I need to do. But to be very fair, when I finished episode 24 of Robotech Countdown, or Showdown, excuse me, when I finished 24 Showdown, I could not leave 25 for the time in the future when I had it. I immediately bumped it up in the schedule so I could watch it and figure out. The leave line of 24 says that there's going to be a resolution to the Miria Max situation that I never, ever expected. But friends, enough speculation. Let's get into this and see exactly what they mean by the title of this episode, Wedding Bells, and if it's what I think they mean by it. Ooh, but before we do so, friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash the subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. You'll be alerted next time we go live with Robotech or any of our Saturday morning React-TOONS. And of course, if you'd like anything that we do early or in its full-length format, the link to the Patreon is in the description. But friends, all that is then. This is now, and now it's time to find out what the hell they mean by wedding bells, and I'm pretty sure I know. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction, and away we go. Fanfare! I'm giddy for this one. Again, I was telling people over on Patreon that this wasn't on my bingo card. I thought we were going to have a big fight. I thought big fights coming between Max and Miria. I was on the other end of the spectrum if this turns out to be true. Hilarious. I'm going to tell you this right now. If Max and Miria get married, as the title suggests, if Max says anything to Rick along the lines of, and that's how you do it, I'm walking. I mean, that's the end of this series for me. Max is like, you know, none of this pussyfooting around, man. We're gonna get into this, and this is how you do a relationship, Rick. You know? Oh no, no, forget that. It would be even better if he did that to Kyle. No, come on. That's a mic drop. I'd leave the series there. It couldn't get any better for me. Sorry to hear about you and Min-May, Kyle, but Miria and I are getting married because that's how you do it. And I'm out.
On board, mechanics and engineers see to repairs and modifications of the Robotech mecha.
Ooh, nice animation.
One of the most honored defenders of the Robotech team is Max Sterling.
Hell yeah.
Now, he faces a totally different crisis. After all, what do you say to a girl you met only a few hours ago?
The narrator getting some chuckles.
I can't believe I asked her to meet me here in the park. A girl at night. She could get mugged or something.
Okay, never mind.
Maximilian, prepare for your doom!
Miria, there you are. It's nice to see you could make it. Huh? Ah!
This is what I thought.
Hey, are you crazy?
I am Quadrano leader Miria Parina.
Miria Parina.
What do you mean, revenge? If you're a Zentradi, I understand why you must fight. But why do you want revenge?
I have reasons!
I have reasons.
Time and again, you've made me look like a fool. I am the Zentradi's greatest pilot and will not be humiliated by my crony. First time you were lucky, the second was your final victory. Nothing can save you now. I will defeat you!
Okay, the animation's getting a little wonky here.
Gotta get that.
Thank God for this rock on the space station.
What is a man compared to a Zentradi?
And now we shall see.
Oh. Dear God. Lord Almighty. No room for error in a knife fight. Oh my God, he beat her.
I've lost to you again. This is a shame I cannot endure.
She's gonna ask him to kill her.
End my life.
Yep.
Please do it now.
But I couldn't. You're so beautiful.
Oh, wow. This must be the love at first sight Like real sight?
This is gonna sound crazy, but will you marry me?
What's marry?
It's something no words can describe. Miria, it's love, and that's the most beautiful thing there is.
Wow. Max is not just fast in his Veritech. He is fast with everything.
I'll tell you one thing, if our request is denied, it means we'll be stranded in space forever.
Oh, please don't.
Oh, there they are.
Ah, just the man I wanted to see.
We must have faith.
Who are you to ask Rick about?
Well, it's about last night. I think I'm going to get married.
What?
What?
Marry, I guess.
Why, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You only went on one date. Don't you think you should get to know each other?
She's, well, we're in love.
Listen here, Max, if you take my advice...
Crazier shits happen.
But she's the enemy. She's confessed that she's a Zentradi.
What? Zentradi? How could you let this happen?
What?
Max, you're talking nonsense. You have absolutely nothing in common.
I am telling you that I love her, and there is no problem that love cannot overcome.
Well,
There is one problem, and that's your silly idealism. Love isn't gonna make you happy, believe me.
it didn't make me happy.
It doesn't matter what you say. I am going to marry this girl with or without your approval.
This is the most absurd conversation I've ever heard.
She's special.
I can tell you like her a lot.
I'd like you to meet her.
Oh?
I brought her along.
Here? This should be interesting.
Oh, hi.
Huh?
We were just talking about you.
You were right, Max. Gosh, she is beautiful. I understand what you mean.
Rick.
I'm so pleased to meet you. You're just the way Max described you.
Indecisive and a bit of a dick.
I can't tell you what a lucky man you are to have found someone like her. And forget all of that nonsense I said.
Well, I mean,
In fact, to guarantee you have a great wedding day, I plan to be there to help you kiss the bride.
wait, Rick declares the right of prima nocta.
Not only was it the first wedding in outer space, but the joining of a human and a Zentradi,
Damn, is this fast?
and perhaps an end to this costly Robotech war.
I mean, maybe 2 episodes in between meeting and marrying? Couldn't we have gotten, like, Miria of Veritech too? If they're gonna do this shit? I mean, they're never gonna let her fly. Is it wrong for me to feel weird for Miria? Like, she doesn't know what she's getting into? I sort of feel that way.
This is a strange Micronian custom, Exodor. May I ask what Miria Perina is doing?
Your Excellency, if I am not mistaken, she is getting married.
Married?
I love Exodor. He's like one of my favorites.
According to my research, it is a condition in which male and female live together.
Live together? Miria Perina is going to live together with this Micronian male?
She's a hell of a spy.
I wonder, Exodor, could it be that she too has found the Micronian way of life too enjoyable to resist?
Yeah, I mean, sure, yeah, but she's not even supposed to be there.
It appears that this love business is a very powerful thing.
I'm afraid I agree with you, sir. It does have its attraction. So this love could be used as a powerful weapon against us.
Weapon,
We
eh?
must
I love it. No pun intended. They're cutting the, what, SDF-1 cake? With probably one of the knives that they fought each other with. That'd be the coolest part.
I would like now to introduce the man who consented to this special occasion, the guest of honor, Captain Henry J. Glover.
Well, he can perform the ceremony, can't he?
As you all know, Miria was a Zentradi warrior who destroyed many of our own ships.
She's killed thousands of us.
Clearly, it is the Zentradi who have caused our present situation. They alone prevent our return to Earth.
Henry?
It is they who have caused injury, destruction, and endless suffering.
Henry?
We must learn to forgive our enemies. We do not forgive blindly or out of ignorance, but because we are a strong and willing nation.
Nation?
Nor can we condemn the individuals of that society for the mass insanity of their war.
I wonder if they're catching this on the Zentradi feed. This could be a huge thing.
Zentradi blood was found to be exactly the same as human blood. There is no reason why we cannot coexist in peace.
What a leader of men!
What a leader of men!
Paul is a man of peace.
It's an organic shout.
Who wants peace?
I'll kick this water.
There are those who have lost loved ones during the war and cannot help harboring ill feelings for the Zentradi.
I'm sure many of you out there lost loved ones to Miria.
If we don't start talking peace, it will mean the end of the world, and not even you would want that.
Lisa!
Mesa.
But you must stop the Grand Cannon operation immediately.
It's too late to do anything about that now.
Lisa, I've got 4 packs of cigarettes to smoke today, so I can't waste my exhales on talking.
Let this act here today stand as a symbol of our approval. We must follow their example. They are the heroes of today.
Yay! Wow, that confetti was ready.
Hail Captain Global!
Yeah!
Oh, nice.
Peace between our people.
Long live the captain!
Long live the Zentradi! Maybe there's some hope at last for our two races. What a wonderful thing this is to celebrate. Peace.
Nice.
As the celebration continued on the SDF-1, the Zentradi's Supreme Commander made plans to end the festivities.
Dolza?
You are ordered to destroy the enemy totally. Our entire fleet will soon be assembled. How? And then we shall incinerate the planet Earth.
Oh shit, things have escalated. They're willing to destroy the SDF-1 now. I gotta put a lot into those drums.
I hope everyone is having the time of their lives here today, because you're in
It's a hell of a way to make a camera intro.
a very special person, a woman who has brought happiness to us all. Welcome, Miss Lin Min May.
Hey, it's Lin Min May, everybody. We had a microphone that didn't have a terrible singer with it, and we thought, bring Min May in here.
To find the hope that joy can bring when two people discover love. Now that I'm sure I've...
Oh, it's a different song.
Why do I hope?
Oh, man. Thank you for that knife in the heart.
Oh, beautiful.
She is savagely mediocre, everybody, isn't she? Savagely mediocre. Yes. I'm sorry. Spoken from somebody who is savagely awful. So,
This woman has a voice that can make a man feel sorrow.
oh shit, Britai breaching his defenses.
You are ordered to begin a full-scale assault on the enemy battle forces. There are to be no survivors, whatever the cost. That is all.
Well,
It grieves me that the time has finally come. I do not look forward to this task at all. It may sound strange, but it's true.
no.
There were those who were beginning to understand that war was not the only way.
Hey,
I don't want to fight.
Yeah. You have a lot of people like this. A lot of defectors.
Do you realize what the penalty is for disobeying imperial orders?
he's right. We will have to fight.
Let's move.
What's with this alarm?
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Go to your battle stations at once. This is a red alert.
We're all drunk, Henry. And I don't mean like we've been drinking. I mean, we are all super drunk.
I won't let my comrades down when they need me most.
Max, I'll go with you.
Huh?
I can fly these Robotech planes as well as any of your pilots.
No.
Give her a plane.
Well, if you're that determined, then I have no choice but to let you, even though it may be dangerous.
Yeah.
Miria's like, bitch, please.
Oh, please save us all.
Lord, buddy. You gotta be a little tougher. I'm assuming you've been used to this type of stuff.
Squad leader, you are go for launch. Repeat, you are go for launch. Go get out there.
Get out there, boys. And Miria, excuse me.
May every one of you make it home safely.
I'm hoping Miria gets out here and we get some more female pilots.
Fighter mode until my signal. All fighter group.
Oh, she's just riding? Come on, get her a ship. Yeah, it's hot and heavy. Ooh, mid-transformation destruction.
Why did we wait?
We just don't want anyone to get hurt.
She's just...
To jeopardize our own lives, right?
Max, it's time to do more than just talk.
Yep.
We must act.
She's just disabling them.
I'll have to give this a try, I guess.
Oh, Max!
Man, if Max is going on the disable route, this will be interesting. There's going to be a ton of floating pods out there. Surgical strikes.
Lieutenant, I have to apologize. The last few have been off target. Nonsense, Max, although I can understand why you're intentionally missing. We'll stop this war without bloodshed.
Oh, Rick's going in too.
The time has come for peace.
Ooh. So we gonna have like Zentradi versus like Dolza's group?
Zentradi, you are in direct violation of Imperial orders. You are to report to your battle stations immediately.
What did you say?
Ooh, I didn't say anything.
We have friends on that ship, and that's where we draw the line. Now leave.
Look at him run like a troll, with his tail between his ears.
He's got 5 rifles pointed at him. It's the most intelligent thing he could have done.
Exodore, there is no justification for mutiny.
Yes, sir, but you should know.
Enough.
Excellency.
I'm going down there myself, and we all know that I can kick a tremendous amount of ass.
Issue the order of reclamation immediately. Return all Zentradi mecha.
Oh. Yes, sir. But that is in direct disobedience of High Command.
Exodore, who's your loyalty to?
Attention all Veritech squadrons. The enemy has broken off its attack and is now retreating. All defense forces are ordered to regroup and return to ship immediately.
I mean, Max has a blue Veritech. You know, his hair's blue. Could she get like a green one?
You cooked the coffee pot.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, mornings are really gonna be rough around here without any coffee. Oh boy.
Let's don't act like you can't get any.
Well, here I am, alone again.
Sleeping in my uniform.
The new commander of the Skull Squadron. And right next door, Max, married to an alien.
I kind of like these, getting the inner dialogue.
I like Lisa. Maybe I even... Oh, I don't know. I'm so tired.
Cool ending, but that's the ending.
Peace and warmth settle in upon the wayfaring clan of space survivors as they await the adventures to come. In the next episode of Robotech, an uneasy truce is called as the Zentradi send an envoy to discuss a tentative peace plan.
Exodore! Awesome, awesome. Looking good. Boy, the story's really taking an interesting twist. I like it. All right, friends, we just got done watching Robotech, episode 25, Wedding Bells, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just got done watching episode 25 of Robotech, Wedding Bells, and as we suspected, I mean, it really wasn't being very covert, but yeah, Miria and Max did get married. And again, what I usually do is whenever they're, you know, could we have used some more time in between their initial meet, like their meet cute at the arcade and getting married? Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, you know, I always have to keep in the back of my mind that this is an amalgamated story from the original Macross, and 2, this is also geared towards North American youth. So, you know, I think to myself, you know, would a North American audience been more invested in the relationship had it gone on for like 4 or 5 episodes and then they got married? And I'm thinking to myself, it depends on what story they're trying to tell here. And I think with the Max and Miria marriage thing is one, it's a great device to use for peace, you know, between the two people. It's great, you know, they global speech inserted inside the, you know, the televised wedding, and the Zentradi being able to hear that. I mean, it affected Britai to the point where he recalled all of his troops, which is in direct violation to what Doles has said. So, you know, there's mass dissent, it appears anyway, throughout the currently like in-system fleet under Britai's command, which, as we've been told, is like 1 million ships whenever Doles like sent him back to take over command. And so, you know, there's a lot going on the Zentradi side. You know, there's a lot of kind of revelations, of kind of coming to grips with these new feelings and things like that, which is incredibly interesting to me. And I think I'm so glad that we saw this in kind of like the outro. Exodore is probably my favorite Zentradi because he's incredibly intelligent. You know, he's a great advisor to Britai, and he helps us with kind of like filling in the gaps a couple times with like Zentradi stuff. Like, you know, Britai will be like, maybe those old stories, maybe I should read them. And then like Exodore tells you what the old story was about, you know, so he's a good narrator for us for the Zentradi side of everything. And it looks like Britai is sending his right-hand Zentradi to the SDF-1 as a Micronian, as some type of ambassador or liaison or something, which is awesome, you know. And again, it shows quite a bit of Britai's faith in the peace process. He's sending his buddy. I mean, they've gone through great lengths to let us know that Exodore is not a subordinate. I mean, at one point he says, let's go get a drink. We can get it in my quarters, which you take from that what you will. But I mean, whether it's just, I mean, certainly there's more friendship there than just, you know, subordinate or I'm your superior. You know, there's a much deeper relationship between Britai and Exodore. And I mean, I just think it's really neat. So did they rush it? Absolutely. I mean, you can't say they didn't rush it, but I understand why they rushed it. The reasoning being between, the peace talks, but also the reasoning being is this is something for Rick to reflect on. We had Min May here, we have Lisa absent, which makes the heart grow fonder, apparently. And, Rick was sitting there and they gave us anytime they add additional narration, normally we get like intro narration, kind of a recap, outro narration, and maybe one or two little kind of transition narrations in a normal episode. But we've had episodes, and this isn't one of them, but it's more towards the spectrum that's been much heavier in narration, where we've gotten kind of insight and glimpses into the thinking, into like the things that we haven't seen, that, something that's outside of our, point of view. So we can be kind of like made more aware of things through the narration, which has worked in my mind excellently. It's done so much. That's why anytime we have a narration heavy episode, I always say this show would do so much better with this narration kind of filling in the blanks every once in a while. But in this one in particular, in addition to like the more narration, I won't say it's one of the narration heavy ones, but we had more narration in this one. But what that was supplemented by was this internal monologue that Rick was having. Now, normally we don't get things like that, or if we get something like that, it's more along the lines of him like, I can't believe she did that, and it's in his head that he's thinking that, or like what, or. It's very bursty and it's not really necessarily even complements what's going on in the rest of the episode or the scene. But this in particular, having Rick think about that, showing the picture of Roy and Ben during the wedding, kind of reminding everybody of like the loss and everything, which was interesting because that was right around the same time that, Global's talking about Miria being one of the Zentradi aces who likely took down several of their friends in, balls of fire in their Veritex. However, it all kind of works together to be able to, we need to move past this. We need to go, this needs to be done. Rick's internal monologue saying, I remember what, he lost Roy to the Zentradi, he lost Ben to the Zentradi, albeit the explosion. But I mean, Ben and Roy would be alive if there were no Zentradi, there wasn't a Zentradi war going on. But I just think that internal monologue, the additional narration did wonders for this episode. The animation didn't do it any favors. The core animation for this, and not like, the Veritex getting ready, which is superior animation, was lacking in this one. And again, lacking animation, or less quality animation, lesser quality animation doesn't take me out of the story. I'll note it, the animation's kind of shitty. But I still just focus on the show. However, the story. However, when they have superior animation and that to me elevates the story. So, the animation can't ruin an episode for me, but by God, it can make one better. And, in this one, it was, below average in my point, several of the animated moments, but the story was still very strong. Again, if you can get past the rushed wedding and everything, but the reasoning behind that rushed wedding was very well placed. Let me ask a question to my Macross fans out there that have watched the original. Did they spend a longer time with Miria and Max, which I'm assuming, this wasn't added in for like the Robotech version of everything, the marriage. Did they spend a longer time developing the relationship? I'd be very curious about that, because if Macross didn't, then Robotech couldn't, without additional additional animation and things like that. So if they did, if Macross spent a lot of time on the Miria Max relationship, I wonder why Robotech didn't. So I'd be very curious if you all know anything about that, because was it rushed and it was just that was from the original to now, that's just how quickly it went, which is cool. Doesn't ruin anything for me other than just the absolute shock of two enemies knife fighting in the park to getting married, which crazier crap has happened in animation and sci-fi and things like that. So it's certainly something that you can easily look past, especially when the story is able to be advanced as far as it was in Wedding Bells. We're 25 episodes into the season now, or to the show, the series now, and they've really kind of they develop these mature themes, and especially the diplomacy and peace process is something that I think, especially younger audiences might have problems with. Peace means we're not fighting, and fighting is cool, Veritex and blah, blah, blah. And again, the storyboarding this out, they think, oh yeah, fighting's really cool. Yeah, Veritex are awesome. Roy's dead. Whoa, shit, what happened? Oh, well, I guess fighting's still cool. Yeah, do you think it's still cool? Awesome. Hey, Ben's dead. Oh, whoa. You know? And so it's almost like they were prepping them in episodes 18 and 19, like, hey, you like war a whole lot? What if we'd start taking people away from you? And now, like, 6 episodes later in 25, it's starting to be a real possibility. Miri is a cool character. Now she's married to Max, and we love Max. And it's like, but wait a minute, isn't she the enemy? I can see where they were going to like make the audience really start to think about a couple of these things and really like maybe second guess what they want to see in the show. And I love that. Again, I really would like to know if there had been such a thing at the time, what the general younger audiences felt about certain episodes, certain issues inside Robotech. I think that would be, or even an interview with some of the people my age that actually watched it. What did they think when they were kids when they saw it? Interesting stuff, my friend. But all that is then and this is now, and it's time for us, if you would be so kind, is to hit that like button, smash the subscribe, or ring the bell for notifications, and you'll be alerted anytime we go live with Saturday morning React-TOONS, Robotech, or otherwise. And of course, if you'd like any of our stuff early or in its full-length format, the link to the Patreon is in the description. But it's time to say goodbye. So where should we say goodbye from? I think the easiest place to say goodbye from this particular episode, 25 Wedding Bells, is at the ceremony. We have heard, Global's speech. We have seen the lovely couple. We have seen everybody kind of coming to grips and really appreciating this moment. And it's right before the call to arms. So there's still that hope. There's still that light. And there's the possibility of peace. To see if that possibility is realized, my friends, join me for the next episode. Until then, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.